Good morning. Welcome. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So, if you are watching this, let me know, #replay, and also let me know how your wellness wheel is going. So, this is part 3 of your wellness wheel, and so I know we kind of talked about this a little bit the last couple weeks, but this is the example that we're kind of using, and we have different aspects and facets of the wheel that we'll be going through. We'll wrap up next week. It will be our close, but in previous weeks, if you haven't gotten a chance to look and see, we talked about joy, spirituality, and creativity for the first week, and we talked about how those integrate in together as well as bleed into the other aspects of the wheel. We also talked about rounding out that wheel and making it be something that didn't have divots in it, which would be difficult to roll and to find success in your goals. Okay. Last week we talked about finances, career, and education, and so these were things that ultimately have a longer period of time that you have to have consistency with to be able to see the results that you're wanting to see. And this week, we're going to be talking about physical activity, home cooking, and then generalized health. And so with these, there are immediate gratifications, there are immediate responses that you can see. But with consistency is where you're going to be able to know that your wheel is rounding out the way that you're wanting it to. And so all of the aspects from today are ones that I think are more common to us to think about in regards to what does it mean for me to be well? What does it mean for me to have a healthy relationship with my body and with the things that are in and around me, the things that I can control, the things that I can't. And so first and foremost, let's kind of talk about physical activity. And so I will not go into this exorbitant amount because I know we've talked about this at length. If you haven't seen some of the videos from a couple of months ago where we went through the aspects of creating a workout routine, what does cardiovascular activity look like? What does resistance training look like? How do those interconnect together to create something that you were able to find sustainable and consistent routine with? If you miss those, you can kind of go back for that, as well as, I do have a time for fitness group that is what we do. We do work out solely and completely in regards to allowing us to have a better, well-rounded activity level throughout the day and to integrate in workouts through a community. And so if you're interested in that, or if physical activity is something that you feel like you really have a hard time staying consistent with, check that out, and I'll put the link in below. But physical activity is usually one of the very first things that gets dropped. When we're having a crazy day, when everything kind of gets out of whack, it's that one thing that we're like, okay, yes, time management wise, I will drop that and I have a little bit more time to get X, Y, and Z done. And so if that is the case for you, I will tell you that it is the one thing that should be consistent. I would say out of like a top 3, it would be one, because consistency in that allows you to have the endorphins, which decreases the cortisol, which allows for you to have a better stress management actual action plan. And so it also improves mood, it improves sleep, it allows, of course, for preventive disease management, so cardiovascular disease, diabetes, things of that nature are more likely not to exist if we are active on a routine basis. If you need guidelines for that, look back at the videos below too, because we talked about, how often should we be doing different aspects of our exercise to make sure that they are complete to give us those benefits of that, okay? The other thing was home cooking, and so you guys know, if you have been watching or following me for quite some time, that the aspect of home cooking is huge for me. So I cannot eat wheat, and so I'm gluten intolerant, and so a lot of times it's just easier for me to stay at home and to cook something that I know is not going to potentially be contaminated. But more so than that, it allows us to be free of preservatives and additives and excess sodium. All of those things can kind of go into mood as well. And so you're kind of seeing how they interconnect. If you need help with meal prepping, my group coaching is actually doing a meal prepping series right now. And so if you're in that, give a shout out, because it has been amazing to watch everybody grow their recipes and be able to make menus, to know where to go for grocery shopping. All of those things are interconnected. I think a lot of times when we talk about home cooking, we think about that in regard to just dinner, but it is so much more than that. And allowing yourself to have a good prep would be able to create better sustainability and success. And so I encourage you guys, if home cooking is one of those things that's difficult for you, that it's easy for you to kind of grab and go with fast food, this also interconnects back to when we were talking about finances last week too. And so I know everything at the grocery store is super expensive, but it is proven that eating at home is actually cheaper than eating out most of the time. And so you can kind of help with budget and things of that nature if we can do more cooking at home. I will tell you that our weeks are very busy in the evening. And so my meal prepping is the only way that I can sustainably cook at home and keep that as a routine for me. And so I will be cooking, doing lots of appliances all at once, slow cooker, Instapot, having something in on the stove to minimize the time that it takes me to prep things. But most of the time during the week, I am not cooking. So I will have everything prepped out, and that's even freezer, meals, that's even, pre-made casseroles, all of those different ideas to kind of help that be consistent for you. So if you are someone that is very busy, like we are in our family in the evenings, it's important for you to make the time to know that this is going to be a priority for you. You're going to feel so much better. You're going to be more likely to be physically active. You're going to be more likely to be in a better mood if we can just get the home cooking done. And that interconnects with, the last aspect of the wellness wheel this week, which is health. And so, of course, health is a huge proponent and part of the wheel that integrates in and seamless through all of the other aspects. But more so than that, I want to talk about the 3 different types of health. I think a lot of times we have different connotations that are associated with those. And so the first one would be mental health. And so, like I talked about physical activity and home cooking, we're looking at the aspect of stress and mindset. Okay. And so both of these are health related. Both of these allow you to be able to be consistent with other aspects of the wheel if those things can be manageable. Okay. So don't discount the fact that, we're feeling crummy. We just don't have motivation. It's not that you're not dedicated. It's just that we don't have a systematic process and plan to keep you going and keep the success there. So a lot of that will come based off of, your physical health. Okay. So mental health really correlates back and forth with that. And so when we talk about physical health, we do talk about health history. That's one aspect of it. So what's been going on in the past and what you're doing right now actually determines your history, so you still have a chance to be able to take hold of your health and adapt that for the betterment of you. So if you feel like you're not where you want to be, there is hope. There is the ability for, you to do a 360 and to really integrate aspects that we have talked about on the wellness wheel in your life to be able to allow yourself to have the ability to rewrite what could be your future. So you don't have to have diabetes. You don't have to have, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, things of this nature. But a lot of those things are written based off of what you're doing now. So the now is so important to what you want to be. And, we talk about this in regards to our journey a lot of times. We talk about what we do today sets up for success tomorrow. And with, physical health, a lot of times we just might not feel like it. Our mental health might allow us to be drained, and it might make us to where we feel like we don't want to be we don't want to do the exercise, we don't want to do all of these things. But in all actuality, it's the time in which we should probably be doing more. And so it's easy for us to kind of drop those hats. But I would say that your physical ability to be able to go and move and do is really hugely based off of what you are consuming and what you are doing before you go to bed. So are we resting? Are we, making sure that we have our workouts workout clothes put out and set out for success. So these small little things that I think a lot of times we kind of just fall back on, and we kind of lose those systems and those routines. Like, oh, do I really need to like work out? Do I really need to like put out my workout clothes so that I'm more likely to work out? So set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for the ability to make it easier. Do your meal prepping when you feel like it's convenient. And it doesn't mean that it has to be all done on the weekends. I know some of my ladies, split it up to where, they just cut veggies one day, and that's a prep for sure. They just do, their breakfast meals one day, and that's a prep. So it's completely up to you on how you want to attack that. But the biggest thing is consistency. And so with home cooking, with physical activity, and with the ability for you to rewrite your health, all of these are going to be based off of your consistency. And so if you need help with that, we have a couple of different options with Time and Compass in regards to group coaching or one-on-one coaching. And so look me up, ask me how those things work if you're interested. Good morning, dear. I hope you're having a great day. So if you are watching this on the replay, again, hashtag replay for me. Let me know what your thoughts are about health, about home cooking, and about physical activity. If you have any tips or tricks to be consistent on those, let us know in the comments below, so then that way we can all encourage and keep ourselves accountable. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. I know today was a short talk, but next week we'll be going through home environment, relationships, and social life. And so if you are a hermit, or if you are someone that has a hard time getting out, or if you're someone that overextends himself to allow for multiple things to be pulling you in different directions socially, next week will be definitely something you want to look forward to. So have a blessed day. Know that you are doing better than you probably think you are. We a lot of times don't give ourselves the credit and the grace that we need to make the strives that we do. And so count every step in the right direction as a step towards your goal, and let me know how I can help you, keep you encouraged and accountable. So have a great rest of your day, everybody.